A freak? I would say he's definitely a freak.
I heard some wild stories. I heard he had like...
We all heard
that. Yeah, you know
but then, come on, I want to hear what you heard.
I heard...
Once a well-liked celebrity in Hollywood, Ashton Kutcher is becoming the subject of criticism once again due to his previous relationships and actions. A reaction was sparked by his previous support of Danny Masterson, who was just found guilty of sexual assault. Many believe that Kutcher's defense downplayed the gravity of the allegations, which led to harsh condemnation of his pro-Masterson remarks throughout the trial. His tight relationship with Sean Diddy Combs has now come to light, igniting further controversy as a result of Combs' alleged wrongdoing and casting doubt on Kutcher's prior relationships and conduct. One of Kutcher's interviews has just come to light again. In an interview with Hot Ones, Kutcher called Diddy one of his best friends and said he had thrown several parties with him over the years. Kutcher did, however, allude to a certain amount of secrecy surrounding these gatherings by stating that he was unable to provide specifics for legal reasons. This claim, along with Diddy's past, has stoked conjecture, particularly in light of claims that Diddy organized parties at which underage females reportedly attended. There are other facets of Kutcher's background that have come to light besides his associations with individuals that are the target of public criticism like Masterson and Diddy. His work history has garnered notice, especially from his early Hollywood years. His on-screen connection with that '70s show co-star Mila is a source of conflict. When the sitcom started, Kunis was only 14 years old and Kutcher was 19. Kutcher has already acknowledged that he used his tongue during their first on-screen kiss, a move he subsequently said was forced upon him by Masterson after the latter bet him $20. Because it involves a juvenile, many people believe this to be improper. Furthermore, Kutcher's early 2000s jokes and comments have come back to haunt him. Kutcher commented on his 15-year-old co-star, saying that America can't wait to turn 18 with her while promoting the movie Cheaper by the Dozen. In addition, he made fun of the Olsen twins, who were well-liked at the time, bringing up the countdown clocks to their 18th birthday, which was a troubling occurrence for several fan groups at the time. Many people today see these comments as offensive or unsuitable, reflecting a perspective on young celebrities that society has subsequently come to examine more closely. The public's changing expectations of appropriate behavior from well-known people, as well as Hollywood's pressure on up-and-coming stars, are also related to Kutcher's current backlash. This scrutiny has been heightened by his long-standing association with Diddy, whose purported actions and allegations of wrongdoing have caused controversy. Fans and the media were suspicious of Kutcher's remarks since he called Diddy one of his best friends and discussed their common experiences without giving any facts. The criticism of Kutcher is seen by some as a reflection of a broader demand for celebrity respect. Kutcher has failed to officially address this current round of controversy in spite of these concerns. In the past, he has made an effort to portray himself as a change agent, especially via his involvement with Thorn, a group he co-founded to combat child trafficking and abuse. Although he has gained respect for his advocacy efforts, recent developments have brought his prior behavior under scrutiny, leading some to wonder whether his present protective character is consistent with some of his former relationships and activities. Kutcher's close relationships with Masterson and Diddy have placed him in an awkward position at a time when prominent personalities are expected to account for both their friendships and their behavior. Public personalities are often questioned about the business they maintain, and when accusations of wrongdoing surface, this scrutiny usually results in public censure. In Kutcher's instance, his backing of Masterson and his enduring association with Diddy have placed doubt on his own morals and discernment, harming his reputation. Kutcher's past relationships with people like Masterson and Diddy also highlight a larger issue in Hollywood, where the culture of devotion and secrecy often absolves superstars of responsibility. Regarding Kutcher, the public is now wondering whether his quietness in certain situations helped the business normalize unethical behavior. Even while he may have privately removed himself from these ties, his prior remarks and actions are still visible, sparking discussion about the effects of celebrity friendships and the dynamics of fame. The complicated relationship between notoriety, friendship, and personal development is highlighted by Ashton Kutcher's changing public image. His philanthropic endeavors and prior efforts to distance himself from past transgressions indicate that he understands the need for reform, but his association with problematic people still overshadows his beneficial efforts. As of right now, Kutcher's narrative serves as a warning about how a celebrity's history may follow them into the present and how one's legacy can be shaped or reshaped by public memory. It is unclear whether Ashton Kutcher will decide to address this most recent incident, but the scrutiny is unlikely to abate anytime soon. He was known to abuse them and to give them narcotics. Despite being aware of the accusations, Kushner continued to refer to him as one of his closest friends. Therefore, he had a strong friendship with My Name is Charles Pro. Please subscribe to anything. Following nearly 10 years of marriage, Mila reportedly filed for divorce and left the house she shares with Ashton Kutcher because she knew that terrible information about Ashton and Diddy together, along with video footage of the two of them together, was going to be made public. Now, let me tell you that Ashton's and Diddy's friend Spotlight Ashton shared a crazy story about a run they went on together that really demonstrates how competitive Diddy can be. We became quickly friends and used to just hang out and watch football together. So one day he came over and I said, I'm going for a run. And he said, oh, I'll go for a run with you. He then came over to go for a run. And about halfway through, he said, hey, I'm running out of gas right now. But with paparazzi surrounding us at the time, he told me to slow down and make it look. Friendship isn't your typical Hollywood bromance. Oh no, they're Bond, and that they started in the early 2000s when Ashton was out here running his prank show, Punk Deep. Piping Hot Sis found some disturbing tapes involving Ashton Kutcher and Diddy. Diddy party stories are our favorite genre of anecdote. If you have one, yeah, wow, okay, I can't tell that one either. Ian, actually now listen to this with his outrageous attitude. Diddy set out to get on Ashton's radar to avoid such pranks. He struck him up during the height of the show's fame with a strong demand, don't punk me, baby. That aggressive demand was the beginning of it all. During an interview on Hot Ones, Ashton revealed even more details on how their one daring punk combo turned into a close friendship. It wasn't just business gatherings and Hollywood events, however, these two also spent time together away from the spotlight. He didn't slow down. Imagine this: Diddy pulls up to Ashton's house and they lace up for a jog. Halfway through, Diddy starts having trouble keeping up, but honey, with him, I don't want to look like I'm not going to be able to finish this thing, and he was losing it right now with the wings and the heat starting to kick up. And he said, and so we finished out the run, and then he was so upset that year that he decided to run the New York Marathon. Skulking paparazzi Ashton was laughing as he related the story of how Diddy was completely losing it, but in typical Diddy fashion. He wasn't about to let those cameras catch him slipping. That run must have been a complete mess for Diddy, because later that year he decided to level up and train for the New York Marathon, baby. Diddy wasn't about to let his guard down, therefore he told Ashton, you better slow down but make it look smooth. They were pushing each other in all kinds of ways, sometimes for the camera and sometimes behind the scenes, but now that Diddy's outrageous personality is being overshadowed by some serious drama, this is where things get really messy. The competitive energy between them, even in the smallest moments, was not just some Hollywood surface level friendship. Diddy was arrested in New York on serious accusations of conspiracy and racketeering. Although he entered a not guilty plea, the court wasn't having it, refused to grant him bail, which escalated the matter to a new level. Over the course of their almost 2-decade friendship, Ashton Kutcher went to many Diddy parties. As the details came to light, people started to disparage Ashton and his relationship with Diddy. Diddy is currently awaiting trial at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center in New York City on charges of ex-trafficking, racketeering, or engaging in unethical business practices and transportation to engage in former work fans. The media was already shaken by the accusations. Ashton had been very cryptic in interviews over the years, dropping hints about wild nights and Diddy's crazy parties that he couldn't spill the tea on. In one interview, when asked about Diddy's famous parties, Ashton hesitated and finally said, I can't tell that one, I'm not sure about it. Suddenly, all those strange stories about their friendship began to surface again, and people were wondering, wait, what did Ashton really know about his boy's lifestyle? Cycling through them, but I really can't tell any of them. The way Ashton sidestepped that question only increased people are speculating that Mila may have unintentionally obtained some of these well-known party tapes from Diddy's wild, no-holds-barred parties, and let's just say Ashton may have been caught in some compromising positions with other men, something Mila never saw coming from her husband. The specifics of what's on those tapes haven't been made public yet, but insiders claim they reveal a completely different side of Ashton that Mila could suspicions about what he was really hiding. With Diddy's arrest, all those unanswered questions are now front and center, and people are revisiting Ashton's previous interviews, looking closely at his hesitation to discuss Diddy's legendary parties. He knew more than he revealed, and baby, the timing is too sloppy to ignore. Mila Kunis filed for divorce around that time. Following Diddy's arrest, many are asking whether Ashton had a deeper involvement in Diddy's shady activities than just attending extravagant parties. For those of you who are unaware, Ashton Kutcher partied frequently with Diddy in the early 2000s, and yes, there are tapes with Ashton and Diddy, but they might have discovered the missing piece to this whole messy scandal. Ashton's little stutter step whenever those parties come up is starting to look really shady now. Stop ignoring this and understand that people are speculating that it wasn't just him hanging out with a party crowd, but possibly even engaging in some dubious illegal activity. Now that Diddy is embroiled in his own scandal, there are rumors that Ashton might be associated with the same messy crew. All applause, right locks on the music doors. Well, this sounds risky now, so you can't tell that one either. For Mila, discovering those tapes was probably the last STW. Imagine believing you know your man inside and out only to discover he's been hiding this from you. Mila supported Ash through everything, but it seems like these recordings revealed a side of him that she was no longer able to tolerate. They were the Hollywood couple that everyone believed to be rock solid, and up until recently they appeared to be a stable, picture-perfect couple. However, when those recordings surfaced, Dr. Mila was devastated. This wasn't the first time they had faced public criticism. Recall the Danny Masterson trial, where They faced harsh criticism for supporting their convicted co-star in letters. You could see people were wondering whether the fractures were already beginning to emerge, even though Ashton's back was in front of the camera to handle the drama. Then came the videos, which felt like the ultimate betrayal. Mila had made it through one controversy with Ashton, but learning of his connections to Diddy's wild world, especially given Diddy's severe charges, was probably too much for her to handle. Shortly after that revelation, Mila made the choice to seek a divorce, according to several sources. Their separation wasn't entirely unexpected. First, the Maston scandal caused significant stress in their relationship, followed by Diddy's arrest and the resurfacing of the tapes that exposed Ashton's wild nights with Diddy. By that time, the feds had already placed the tapes in Mila's lap and she was prepared to leave, but let's be clear that the drama affected more than just their marriage. Additionally, Ashton's reputation was suffering greatly. Fans were baffled as to how this pair could support someone convicted of such horrible acts, and the public was furious that they had supported their former co-star. The couple was still recovering from the Masterson fallout. When the M debacle occurred, Ashton in particular took the fire, since his work with a group that fights for children suddenly appeared very hypocritical. His supporters, with all the turmoil surrounding Ashton's ties to both the Masteron case and Diddy's most recent scandal, it seems that she is taking unilateral action by filing for divorce in order to protect her reputation and separate herself from the mayhem. Can you blame Mila for determining it was time to move on? We have a history of helping victims via our work, and we will do so going forward. The bombshell news of Ashton Kutcher and Kunis's breakup was purportedly sparked by his for years. Pointed out right away that his support for a convicted criminal didn't exactly align with his advocacy initiatives. Ashton resigned as chairman of Thorn shortly after, and to be honest, it felt like his life was falling apart on both a personal and professional level. However, he pretended that his resignation was for the organization's benefit, but let's face it, many people are claiming that he was only attempting to protect his own reputation from further criticism because, after two scandals that rocked his world, his reputation has taken a severe hit. And it's difficult to predict whether he will ever fully recover. Meanwhile, Mila is. Social media has been rocked by dubious connections to Diddy, with these tapes purportedly revealing him in some compromising situations at Diddy's wild parties. People are beginning to question just how deeply involved Ashton is. One commenter stated that Kutcher is close friends with two of the most notorious criminals in Hollywood, while another wrote, "I sense those two are part of some rather ominous material." A third source said, "Only time will tell how deep they are in this trafficking mess." Let's just say that Ashton's future in Hollywood is looking pretty bleak right now because of his friends Diddy and Danny Masterson, and with whom he hangs out. His reputation was already on the verge of collapse following the Masteron scandal, and this new situation with Diddy could be the final nail in the coffin. With Diddy's incarceration, Ashton is discovering the hard way that Hollywood is known for its brutality, raising concerns about potential competitors in the field. While Ashton has been a household name for ages, there is a lot of discussion on this web about the serious consequences he might be facing. Industry insiders are already speculating about whether he will even be able to land future projects. Scandals like this can haunt even the biggest stars, and I was thinking, wow, how did I get in here? Isn't this interesting? Before, my very next thought was, oh, wonder if I can get out, and then I was back in my body, and I believe that I was given a choice somehow. I believe that it was Diddy parties with glitzy celebrities. No, these events allegedly included hidden cameras and activities that elevated the Hollywood party to a whole new level. Although Demi Moore has always been in the spotlight, this new connection has fans questioning her past more than ever. The best part is that Demi and Diddy were seen together at several high-profile Hollywood events, which sparked interest in their relationship at the time. However, now that these serious allegations are coming to light, everyone is asking a lot more questions. These stories, and if you have a favorite genre of anecdote, I can't tell you about it. Wow, I have a lot of them, so I can't tell that one either. After he starts hanging out with Diddy, he marries Demi Moore, who drains him of all the adrenochrome she can, and he seems to have refilled himself by engaging in improper behavior with their children. Hold on tight, everyone. Demi Moore's name was recently involved in a crazy incident. It's about to rock Tinseltown to its core. We're talking about hush-hush parties, as evidenced by jaw-dropping hidden footage and whispers that connect her directly to Diddy's renowned no-holds-bar parties. Do you think underage partygoers star in front of star-studded crowds in a secretive world that was supposed to remain closed until now? Footage that links Demi to scenes that could completely change the way we view Hollywood's biggest stars. If even a small portion of these claims are true, this mess could bring down some of the industry's biggest names. We're talking about shocking claims of secret recordings and disturbing tales of what actually happened behind those velvet ropes. Because the story is just beginning to take shape and the astounding details are beginning to emerge, the truth behind these gatherings may be darker and more sinister than anyone had ever imagined. The shadows the leaked video has made Demo's name the center of a scandal that could potentially shake some of the biggest names in show business. Tony Busby, an attorney, has been revealing shocking details about Diddy's private affairs, and Demi Moore is the one who has everyone's attention. Busby's hints that there is video linking well-known celebrities to these crazy events have many wondering what really transpired behind closed doors, but we're not just talking about inquiries. In her memoir, Inside Out, Demi opened up about a devastating moment from her childhood in which she revealed that a man she trusted in her own home betrayed her, a setup she claimed was orchestrated by someone she should have been able to rely on. This trauma cut deep, and I expect that many powerful people will be exposed, many dirty secrets will be revealed, and we know what we may be up against. More fuel for the fire. People can't help but question whether her early wounds influenced her subsequent decisions because of her name being involved in this scandal, but here is where it becomes even more interesting. If these videos are authentic, Busby claims to have evidence from these elite parties that link high-profile Hollywood celebrities to occurrences that leave everyone speechless. The industry as a whole could see shockwaves from the fallout, changing our perception of some of its biggest performers and what people are interested in. When Demi and Ashton first started dating, they were practically glued at the hip, attending every event and ruling Hollywood's NTI together. One of her most controversial moments was her relationship with younger people in that headline-grabbing relationship with Ashton Kutcher, who had a significant age gap. Now, it's causing even more rumors about her connections to Diddy's scene. Did he even joke that being with Demi calmed Ashton, keeping their typical antics under control? But now that the accusations are mounting, some fans are beginning to wonder if Ashton's close relationship with Diddy may have drawn Demi further into that circle than anyone had anticipated. Demi Moore's shocking connection to the Diddy scandal is just the tip of the iceberg, and it could shed light on her career connections and these private parties dissolving, and everyone is wondering if this is the final curtain call for her Hollywood legacy. Fast forward to today, when Busby's revelations are putting Hollywood has ever seen. Diddy's legal team is struggling to stay on top of things, but if Busby's proof holds up, it seems like a major bombshell. Busby has been hinting at the possibility of even more unusual names getting entangled. Do you realize how fierce you are in this situation? I find myself thinking, wow, that was a long time ago. I have to read, if Demi was indeed a member of this close-knit group, her career and reputation would be in jeopardy. This isn't just Diddy's issue anymore, it's exposing when she married Ashton Kutcher. After two, the narrative changed. In her memoir, she acknowledged being under pressure to maintain Ashton's wild partying habits after decades of abstinence. Ashton persuaded Demi to abandon her hard-won sobriety on a crucial trip to Mexico, putting her on a downhill spiral that rocked her life. Her decisions not only haunted her but also spread across her family, leaving her daughters ostracized. Now that these bombshell claims are coming to light, Scout and Tula need to pick up the pieces. Her girls might be facing another storm in the turbulent tale of their mother. Not only is Dee's profession at stake, but her whole family is being pulled through the crucible. Demi used to be Hollywood's ultimate wild child, breaking all the rules, partying hard, and living life without regrets. But these new accusations are giving those decisions a much darker tone. Diddy party stories are our favorite type of anecdote. If you have one, then wow, I have a lot, I can't tell. More twisted light than you could have imagined. Wow, that seems like a lifetime ago. When she was married to Ashton, Demi revealed that they had an open-ended relationship and even welcomed outsiders into their marriage. However, she later acknowledged that this caused serious trust issues, which caused their bond to deteriorate. Now that everything is falling apart, fans are wondering if her rebellious, free-spirited attitude brought her into Diddy's world, or if it was there. There is something far more sinister at work. The burning question is what exactly Ashton saw behind those closed doors and why he is holding back. Was Demi right there beside him at those wild parties? People are beginning to wonder if Ashton unintentionally dragged Demi into a scandal. Ash T, for his part, hasn't exactly been silent either. In a Hot Ones interview, when the topic of Diddy's notorious parties came up, he nervously laughed it off, saying there were things he simply couldn't talk about. The world she never anticipated. Everyone enjoys a good story about those crazy nights, and Diddy's party tales are famous. However, when Ashton was questioned about them, he couldn't help but dodge the question by responding, "Yeah, I have a lot, I can't tell, and now for the big stunner." Fans are anxious to discover whether Busby's claimed film of others, like Demi, directly connecting to these well-known parties, is real, and if it's as explosive as it seems, since it may be Demi's Hollywood legacy. What do you think? May Demi Moore really be connected to anything this shady, or is she merely the latest victim of Hollywood's vicious rumor mill, hanging by a thread? And if this video is true, it may become the greatest scandal of her career, greater than anything we've seen before. Time will tell, but the stakes could not be greater. Is this whole tie to Diddy's world simply a huge mistake, or are we going to see a full-on reputation-shattering event that might reshape her legacy forever? As this whole situation develops, it's evident that Ashton's ties to both Diddy and Demi might not keep him as far away from the drama as he'd like to think. The question now is how deep this goes and who else will get caught in the crossfire. It's no surprise that Diddy is not the only one facing the consequences. John Kutcher, who has known Diddy for decades and has a tangled history with Demi, is also clearly feeling the heat. As one observer noted, "You're only as competent as the men you hang out with," and Ashton knows a lot because he's been to the party and is aware of what goes on. If Ashton's name appears on those infamous Diddy tapes, things could quickly become very messy. What do you think? Is this the end of the queue for Demi Moore and the other Hollywood celebrities connected to P. Diddy? Let's discuss it. Leave your ideas in the comments section below. If you liked the video, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, enable the notification bell if you're new to the channel to avoid missing updates. Thank you for viewing.